Hey, what's up? Good morning, everyone. This is Dan at Unicorn Riot. How are y'all doing? We're changing up the production process. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Sorry, just 1 second, folks. Thank you. All right, yeah. So again, thanks for joining us. If people want to say, where they're tuning in from, that's great. I'm checking out the chats right now. Appreciate all your support, everyone. So the earliest that we could have the jury come in is 9:15. So we're a few minutes away from that. Hello, hello. Good morning from Nebraska, Brittany. Good morning, Nicole from Boston. Let's see who else we got. Cabo and Austin, Texas. Let's see. Well, who else? Yeah. Good morning from Missouri, Bethany, Angela, the UK, Tia from Duluth. Good morning, everyone. Amelia Island, Florida. Yes. How's everybody doing? I hope my audio is coming through mostly okay. So, yeah, we're changing up our production system. Obviously, we've been developing a new video system to bring this all to you and all that. So, what we're gonna thank you. Hi, Brianna from Michigan. How are you doing this morning? So we're changing it up today, and we're going to have Nico running the production, which is great. So for the first day in this whole process, the 16th day here, this will be the first day that I am not running the production, which is great because we are trying to make a scalable organization where we can switch off to people and have different people run production. Hi, Maya from Mexico, Kelsey in St. Louis, Crystal in Roseville, and Andrina in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Alexander, Cincinnati, Sumter, South Carolina, Kay, North Carolina, Jana in Milwaukee, Shirag in Houston, and Gaia Genevieve Richards, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Brianna, Michigan. It's great, it's great to have you all here this morning. So, we're getting ready for this coming into the 16th day here, and yeah, again, so Nico is going to be your producer today, and I'll be off today, which is good. And it's again, we're trying to evolve up our system and get it so that we can have multiple producers in order to sustain the project. Hi, Michigan, Kalamazoo, Houston, Lexington, Kentucky, Sky in Alaska. Let's see, East Tennessee, Upstate New York, New Richmond, Wisconsin, Brooklyn Center. It's Ash in New Orleans. It's great to have everybody. So yeah, we are. They probably aren't doing any motions this morning because we would have probably expected motions to start 5 minutes ago. So it'll probably be in the next 10 minutes or so. Yeah, hi, Roseville, St. Louis. Thanks for tuning in. DJ in Canada, Corey, St. Paul, Michelle in Grand Rapids, Yan in Montreal. So yeah, Canada, Jamela, Elizabeth, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So it's really great. We've been able to reach a whole lot of people out here, which is really awesome. Madison, Lansing, Iowa, Cincinnati. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. So we're going to try to keep staying on top of this, if at all possible. Unicorn Riot's a 501c3 nonprofit media organization, so you can support our work at unicornriot.ninja. I'll pop this up 1 second. So we are, come on, there it is. So you can check out our website at unicornriot.ninja. The Chauvin trial landing page is that banner across the top. We've got a story from a contributor in Brazil. We've got a story about Line 3. We've got a story about the protests in Uptown. We 1 second. We have some other stories about, basically the police attempting to raid a homeless encampment. We've got race and perception the first 2 weeks of the Chauvin trial. We've got our Discord leak site. We've got the reporter reflections that you've seen running is in that middle George Floyd uprising button. If you want to check that out, the Line 3 stuff. If you want to check that out. So that's just some of the stuff up on our website, unicornriot.ninja. And if you want to support our work, it helps a lot. We're 501c3 nonprofit media organization. So, whatever you can do to kind of help sustain our work, repeating donations, that really helps us plan out what we're trying to cover and things like that. So it is really appreciated to, uh, especially to share our work, to let your friends know the kind of work that we've been doing makes a huge difference, and we do really appreciate it. So that's very important because we don't have this corporate distribution system behind us. So it really does make a big difference. So I'm going to switch back. So yeah, so we're still waiting for court. This is the live video feed from the courtroom. Seems to be working smoothly, and we've been, as every day we try to change or evolve our system of how we broadcast. So let's see, who else have we got coming in? We're hearing someone's watching from Northern Ireland, from Door County, Wisconsin, Chicago, Illinois, Hamilton, Montana, Georgia, Cass Lake, Minnesota, Fort Benning, Columbus, Georgia, Winona, Minnesota, British Columbia, Spokane, Seattle, Navarre, Florida, Dallas, Texas, Toronto, Beloit, Wisconsin, San Diego, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, Kansas City, Cincinnati. So yeah, thanks. Yes, Illinois. Thank you all for Manitoba. Thanks all for tuning in. I'll try to hit up. Let's see, what do we have on the YouTube? We got St. Paul, Hershey, Pennsylvania, Louisville, Kentucky, Manitoba here too, Toronto, Minnetonka, Ocala, Florida, Love from Wakanda, all the way from the Marvel comic universe, Nevada, Ohio, North Minneapolis, the UK, Philly, good morning, Philly, Perth, Australia, Richfield, Minnesota. Let's see, someone in Colorado, Pittsburgh, San Diego, Tampa, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Chicago and 32nd, Ben, Colorado, Maryland, the anarchist jurisdiction, or Portland, as also known as Long Beach, Northeast Minneapolis, Florida, Newfoundland, Canada, Columbus, Ohio, Colorado, Liberia, hi Liberia, Ohio, New Hampshire, hi Gangapore. Let's see. Yes. So yeah, it's great. Thanks for again, Perth, Australia, very cool. So it's really neat, all the way from Perth, Australia, all the way to Northern Ireland, Denmark. It's very cool. That is it's a nice thing about the internet and trying to work on these broadcasts so we can try to reach people worldwide. We've been able to do streams from Europe. We've been out to protests in Germany. We've covered climate change in Iceland. We try to get around, check things out. Our member D is down in South Africa. D is always keeping an eye on things, and so that we've been able to get some reports from South Africa and especially the COVID situations there, which is great. So someone's at 35th and Cedar, watching down in South Minneapolis. Micah and Jordan out in Colorado Springs. Let's see, Kansas, Mankato, Indiana, Alabama. Very cool. It's really great to have. It's really great to have all of you tuning in. So again, Nico's going to be managing the streams today for the most part. I think we'll also, probably have our other members, as we work on training everyone up, right? We're sort of get everything on rotation, right? So it's all sustainable, basically, which is great. So that's how we're trying to build an organization for the long term. Unicorn Ride's coming into 6 years, and which is great. And so we've been plugging at it a long time, and it's always interesting to try to learn how to make things more sustainable, how to get things more on rotation. So again, I'll just go over again some of the quick stories we have on unicornride.ninja. So while we're waiting, because it doesn't seem like they're not about to jump to motions, but we'll definitely keep an eye out and go right back in if they come up live. So our website, unicornride.ninja, got that main banner right across the top for everything. We have, this is the landing page, the Derek Chauvin trial landing page, so we try to keep that up to date every day and have the feeds in there, the news in there. We have a report from our contributor, Sam Richards, about FBI spy planes that circled in Minneapolis. And you can learn how to detect your own spy planes in this story, which is really pretty cool. That was our contributor, Sam. And then our other contributor, Mirjan Sadar has a 21st Century Jim Crow in the North Star City series. This one looks at the Downtown Dark Alliance and how Target Corporation helped build a huge surveillance system, which really set the stage, especially back in the Ryback administration, for these later problems with police brutality, with trying to criminalize black youth and things like that. So it really breaks into that story quite a lot, which is cool. For the jury selection story, we had that from our member Georgia Fort, Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter on the jury questionnaire. I'm sure you heard plenty of that stuff. And then we'll show this card later, but again, this is sort of the cast of characters that you're likely to see in court. You got Judge Cahill, Steve Slisher, and Matthew Frank have been around quite a lot. Aaron Eldridge has been doing some questioning. Eric Nelson is the defendant's attorney. Amy Voss is his assistant. Sometimes you see Keith Ellison, the Minnesota's Attorney General, come in as well. We're also keeping an eye on the federal charges, the federal situation, which is that federal court is being used to prosecute some people under civil disorder charges, and so we're trying to keep an eye on that, and we are been in touch with people doing court support and stuff like that. So the federal dimension is very important. The courts are not just trying to work for the people; they're also doing a lot of prosecutions, which is very important. For the first 2 weeks of that pretrial, that really long jury selection period, which was very detailed and had a lot of motions that showed us what things that would happen now, this race and perception story on our site really covers a lot of that. So you can really get a sense of those first couple weeks there. And we also have one second. We have justice families, seeking accountability. And so again, it's like the situation of George Floyd is really, it's more about the rule than the exception. And so there's a lot of families that have been hurt in similar ways, but it just didn't end up on so many video cameras. And so that's a very helpful story to understand that and sort of get a sense of these different families and get to know them. And Unicorn Riot's, done a lot to talk with these families and kind of bring those stories forward and kind of suss out what happened there and all of that kind of thing. So that's, this is sort of that bigger picture outside of just the Floyd family. What about the other families? It's a great long video attached to this story that you can check that. And Nico did that reporting in the field. And, again, I did briefly mention this one yesterday, but, the corporate media in the Twin Cities is not helpful. And Jay Coles, in particular, Channel 5, has consistently been a guy who just peddles for whatever the police want to say and that type of thing. And so the J. Cole story is pretty significant in that you have to deal with how the corporate media methodically demonizes activist groups and people like that, regular people, and just peddles police narratives. We jump into it in a great deal there. So you can take a look at that. And then earlier, oh yes, and then yesterday we had yesterday we had a really important police lieutenant come on to testify, and Lieutenant Rugel has done a lot to surveil social movements in Minneapolis, and earlier back in 2019, one of our former members had a story about how the Police Fusion Center, the Strategic Information Center in North Minneapolis, was being used to create that's not good. I think we're having some streaming problems. So look, we're gonna wait for court to come back live, and I think I'm gonna probably have to hop out and leave it back to Nico. So, but we're seeing a little bit of a technical snag. So again, we're gonna hop back to here as we expect court to come back in. Again, thanks for joining us. Nico's going to be driving. We're still hammering out some of the technical stuff, so I'm not sure if we'll have as many voiceovers today, but we do really appreciate your support. We're going to keep, running clips, trying to give context as much as possible. So again, we're changing the system today, and I think I've got to hop off of it because we're having an issue. So I'm gonna hop out. Thank you all for joining us. We do really appreciate your support. Thanks.
Please be seated.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, members of the jury. Just to give you a scheduling update, we are actually ahead of what we planned the schedule to be as far as the evidence coming in. For that and for other reasons that are not relevant, we are going to take tomorrow afternoon off. There are other things that have to be done without the necessity of bringing our jury in. So we're going to try and recess tomorrow about 12:30. We won't be ordering lunches because we expect you to be out of the building by then. So just so you can have a little idea where we're going tomorrow. With that, we'll proceed. Mr. Frank.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would call Courtney Ross to the stand.
Yes, good morning. I'm good. Come right up here, and if you could just stand behind the chair to start with. Right.
Absolutely.
And raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony about will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Now, before we begin, well, you anticipated my first request, which is to keep your mask off. It just that it'll be easier to hear you. If you feel a need that you got to put it back on, feel free. But
Thank you.
the important thing is that we be able to hear you, and so what we're going to do is start to make sure we can hear you. We're going to have you state your full name, spell each of your names.
Okay. My name is Courtney, Courtney, Batya, Batya, Ross, Ross.
Right. Thank you. Mr. Frank.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Ross, can you just tell the jurors, not your address, but generally where you live?
Yes, I live in Northeast Minneapolis.
How long have you been in the Northeast Minneapolis area?
My entire life. I was born and raised.
And can you tell the jurors how old you are?
I'm 45 years old.
Seems like a strange question, because there is a reason for it.
It's okay.
And do you have any children?
I have 2 boys.
Okay. And Ms. Ross, did you know George Floyd?
Yes.
When did you meet George Floyd?
I met Floyd in August